Hello once again. Welcome to the show. If you are new around here, I am your host, Robert, aka The Tall Man. This is my lovely wife, Lisa, and co-host, aka Mrs. Tall Man. Not that anyone ever calls her that. We are coming to you live right now from Tall Man Mobile, somewhere here in Central Florida. Here's a beautiful look outside of, we call it faux balcony cam. It's real balcony. It just is from a previous cruise we were on, and that moonshot is such an amazing shot. We decided to use that when we're not on a ship. So full balcony cam. So tonight we are going to talk about our final thoughts on the MSC World America. We just spent 7 days on the inaugural cruise, and fantastic cruise. Had a great time. Well, number one, Embarkation. So Embarkation was a bit of a cluster.
Wasn't it?
Yeah. There's a couple things that some of it only affects us. Some of it may affect others out there. We have a very tall truck, and it turns out that we cannot park in their garage. And so the way that the road system is designed there, once you get to their terminal, essentially you can't leave the terminal without basically leaving the port.
Correct.
And so if you're driving a car in, you don't drop your bags and then circle around to get to the parking garage. You physically go up into the parking garage, park your car, then take your luggage out and drag it to the porters.
Yes.
If you're getting dropped off, well, then you drop yourself and your luggage off like you normally would, and then the car dropping off leaves. Well, I have a very tall truck. It will not fit in the garage. The garage will only fit vehicles up to 7 feet tall.
Yes.
Therefore, I ended up having to drop Lisa in the luggage and then basically, again, leave the port, circle around, find a flat lot that I could park in, which was basically across from Terminal E, and then I walked back about 25 minutes.
Yes.
I could have Ubered or taxied, but at that time of day, everybody was trying to get off ships and leave and stuff. I just, you know what, we'll just walk. So I think that is a really bad design for this brand new, amazing terminal they have that doesn't allow any sort of turnaround traffic.
I agree. I mean, they definitely should have some oversized parking because not everybody has the small vehicles. Some people have, RVs and, who knows what.
Just a truck.
Just a truck.
Jacked up
that
truck.
And the price.
Yeah, $35 a day.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
very expensive to park in their brand new terminal building.
The flat lot for oversized was like $25 a day. So,
yeah.
Excuse me, everybody, $10 more. So that was a little frustrating.
Yeah.
So anyway, outside of that, we get into the terminal. The check-in process was pretty quick. You go through sort of you do the facial recognition right away, and then you put your passport. Then you go through security, through the screening, with the x-ray for your bags and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then you basically sit, which is sort of where it all falls apart again.
Yeah, well, the whole facial recognition and that part going through security, that was very smooth.
It was.
Yeah.
So we get in there. There was a bit of a delay getting on board the ship. This was the inaugural cruise, so of course things are going to be a little messy.
Mm-hmm.
And ultimately, they had no control over the people in their terminal.
Zero.
And it became really a big mess when it came time to actual board.
Yeah.
The reason is because there was one door that people would go through to scan their papers, their boarding pass to get on the ship. And it was just a double wide door. And everybody pushed up to that door, even though it was not their time to board. Mm-hmm. And so to get through that mess was... It was very, very challenging.
It was. Now, MSC, the staff there at the shoreside staff had asked repeatedly for people to sit down and to wait until their boarding number was called. But that just didn't happen. The more they asked people to sit down, it seemed like the bigger the doors the crowd got.
Yeah.
And they did not take control of it.
Yeah, they need to make those people sit down, because it just really makes a mess.
Yeah, all they did, I mean, I didn't see anybody, physically saying, please sit down to each individual person. I mean, that would have alleviated it, but they just left it to the announcement.
Sit down, back away from the door. This is a problem. And it was.
Which on the plus side, you could actually understand the announcements. That was very nice.
Yes.
You can understand every word they say in their new terminal.
Yeah, the PA system in there is fantastic.
Yes.
Very, very clear. Mostly it's like... This one, crystal clear.
Absolutely.
So it wasn't like you could say,
I didn't
couldn't
hear
hear them.
you. No,
you
you
could hear people
heard.
clear. So now, even later on in the day, we were speaking with Mark and Rocky, and they had a challenge. They were sitting there. They were waiting for their number to be called, which was like 45 or something like that. And they were calling one number at a time. And I guess things finally, after the big rush, everything got a little bit smooth. And they called 44, and they're like, okay, let's put our stuff away. So they put their stuff away. And then all of a sudden it was like, all right, all other numbers. And so the same thing that happened to us at the beginning then happened to them.
Yes.
A mad rush, and it just created a cluster. So they really need to work on their embarkation process.
Yeah.
Because it was really, really a mess.
It was.
Now, of course, once you get past that, there was then another long line to wait to get to scan your actual boarding pass to get on the ship. And so, again, a little bit messy. Again, first cruise, inaugural. I feel they'll get better at it.
Yeah, I agree.
But, this is their first large ship here in the United States, their first mega ship, if you will. So it'll get better. And so hopefully maybe they follow like what Royal Caribbean does.
I hope so.
Right? When people first show up there, the first person sits in the first chair. The next person, chair 2, chair 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All their upper, suites and loyalty members have a separate area. So they get to go first. Then once those people have gone, the people come, okay, row 1, stand, everybody leave. Right? And so it's very organized.
Yes.
There's no mess at all whatsoever.
Agreed.
So maybe they adopt something like that.
Yeah.
So that was it for embarkation.
Yes.
Shall we move on to the next subject?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. The cabins. So, overall, just generally unimpressed.
Yeah. Everything was very brown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not incredibly spacious for a new ship. Like we went, we got to see 15 cabins. A lot of you may have seen that video that we did. If not, there's a playlist with all of the videos and all the content that we shot on the MSC World America. Plus, we released them separately, so all that stuff is coming out. One of the big things for me were the accessible cabins for the balconies that we saw.
Yeah.
Very skinny. The balcony is like the size of the cabin. The balcony is insane.
Wonderful for accessibility.
But skinny, but incredibly long. And somebody who has some accessibility issues made some comments that, they're not in a wheelchair full time, but they ride a scooter.
Yes.
And they wouldn't necessarily always take the scooter out to the balcony. He would just kind of get himself out there. But to get all the way to the rail is a problem.
Yeah.
And so,
there's a pinch point in the accessible balconies. You've got your bed and you've got your dresser. So the front part of the bed ends here. You get your dresser here, and it's cut away, so you have a little tiny little area to get through. But it is snug.
Yeah, I'm not sure
snug.
a scooter or wheelchair could get by there.
I'm not
Which
sure.
means they can only use the one half of the cabin.
On the one half, exactly.
And not get to
and
the
not
balcony.
even get to the balcony.
Outside of that, bathrooms generally small.
Yes.
Again, for a new ship, decent size shower,
The showers
glass
are good
door.
size.
But outside of that, the toilets are in a precarious place. I was just fine at my height. If I was any taller or any wider, it would be a little bit tight in there, I would think.
Well, what I felt in the bathroom was they have this large sink, and I kid you not, it is about as wide as my hands are, just a big circle, which I love. But when you're trying to put a big sink into a smaller bathroom, there's only so much room only so much you can do with it. And so you've got this in your way of the toilet and your leg room for the toilet. If they had used a smaller sink, I think that would have given
You'd have
you
a little bit more leg room.
More leg room.
Yeah.
Even though I love the larger sink in this case, I don't think it works.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was, I think, my main issue in the bathroom.
Yeah. Neither amazing, neither crappy.
No,
just
right
middle.
Yeah.
Right? But yet for a brand new ship, again, I think I was expecting something a little bit different, a little bit better.
I was hoping for a little bit more room to dry off.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on.
Okay. Thank you.
The buffet. Which is what somebody announced.
Actually did announce.
You can go up to the buffet. I'm like, are we at Margaritaville at sea? the buffet.
Yeah, the buffet.
The buffet is huge.
It really is.
Which one would expect for a ship this size. In fact, there are two. There's the one on deck 18 and then La Brasserie on deck 19, which we're going to talk about deck 19 La Brasserie in just a minute. But the buffet was huge. Wide variety of food, and it is spread out nicely. However, I feel, after Lisa and I talking about it several times, there may not be as much variety as we would see at the buffet on the C-class ships, meaning the Seashore, Seaside, Seascape, Seaview.
We have seen a better selection on those ships.
Even though that buffet was probably twice the size.
Yeah,
right?
this buffet was huge.
I mean, the food was great. Everything was what it needed to be. There was nothing wrong with the food. Just
the selection
was a little bit less than we would have expected for a buffet that size.
Yes,
we've seen more selection again on smaller ships,
and it was very spread out.
Yeah,
and what I found to be a little frustrating for me is the center area where one of the elevators led off. There was mostly deli meats, salads, things along that line, but you had to go all the way either end if you wanted to find hot food, carvery, rotisserie chicken, anything like that.
I think they do that on purpose to spread people out.
Well, maybe they do.
Right?
But
so they don't put the main food right there. You gotta get in and spread out.
But they had like carvery on one end, and then they had like home meal stuff on the other end. So you literally had to walk the entire buffet.
Which we always suggest you do anyway, because of variety that cruise lines provide, you have to walk it to see it all, right? So I personally didn't find that a bad thing.
Okay.
But everybody else finds a different challenge with things, and overall I just was the food was good. There was great choices.
Food was good.
We just thought there would be more based upon the size. Now, La Brasserie. Conflicting information about this particular buffet. It's on deck 19. And we've seen pictures of, for yacht club members only, this, that, whatever.
Yes.
Now, we were on this ship for 7 days, and I ate in that buffet 3 times. And not once was that sign present anyway.
Yeah.
Or anywhere.
No, I never saw it.
And even if it was, the yacht club members, they have their own restaurant in the yacht club in the front of the ship. They wouldn't come all the way to the back of the ship to go to a buffet, if you will.
Right.
So I'm not sure where that sign came from. I don't know what it's for. All I can say is the 3 times I ate in that buffet, 1 was lunch and 2 were breakfast, there was no sign indicating anything about the
yacht club only. Agreed. I never saw that sign, but I've seen plenty of posts on Facebook since then.
Yes,
that people are saying that sign is there. It wasn't there when we were on that ship.
Where'd that sign come from? I don't know.
Yeah.
And that buffet on 19 in La Brasserie opens a little bit earlier than the main buffet. So if you're an early riser, that's where you should go for breakfast.
Yes.
Okay. So there's the buffet. Let's get on to main dining. Main dining. We're going to throw main dining and specialty restaurants sort of all together.
Okay. All right.
Okay. The main dining, excuse me, there are multiple main dining restaurants. There are 3 of them right in one area. There's Hexagon, Esagano, and Bubbles. All serve the same food. All for basically all the same. Esagano and Hexagon are for traditional seating, either early or late. Bubbles is for early or late and or anytime type dining. There is Les Dunes. That is for the Aria class. Again, same food as served in the other 4 restaurants. We did not have an issue with the food in the main dining at all.
No.
We thought the quality was great. The selection was great. We've seen the same menu, the same food on other ships. We enjoyed it. Now, that being said, there were things that we enjoyed on other ships that we ordered again, but it was slightly different on this ship, right? So there's a little bit of inconsistency there. And so we've had a conversation with others around the ship and listening to people talking, and the common thread that we hear people say is, when I go to McDonald's and want a Big Mac, I want a Big Mac, and Big Mac tastes like a Big Mac. And when I went there to get this, it was a Big Mac, but it didn't taste like a Big Mac. Well, I agree, because I don't know if they changed the recipe, what they did, but slightly different, like their roasted cream tomato soup, one of our favorites that they make. And on all the other ships we've been on, they put in little pieces of, say, mozzarella
cheese,
in there. That wasn't in
No,
this.
it wasn't.
Which was strange.
And I've really grown to enjoy that mozzarella.
I know, right? So
Yes.
just slight inconsistencies. Outside of that, we enjoyed the main dining.
Yeah. I mean, the soup itself tasted the
Yeah.
same, and it just didn't have the extra cheese in there that I've grown to love.
Now, from a specialty dining standpoint, we only did one specialty dining. We did it for lunchtime,
Yes.
and we did Italy,
Mhm.
which is their Italian restaurant there on the World America. I believe this is the first time they're introducing Italy.
Mhm.
And ultimately, the experience was fine. It was we're diamond level on MSC, and so we get one free specialty restaurant. We chose to go there,
Mhm.
and as the diamond free meal, you get one appetizer, one main,
Mhm.
and one dessert.
And one side.
In the side that comes with the main, right?
Yes.
However, the menu is presented as a 5-course meal,
It is.
so you only get to choose 3.
Mhm.
So you're either choosing a main or a pasta, one of those two.
Mhm.
For
A
your
soup or a
appetizer,
salad.
you're choosing an appetizer or a salad,
Yes.
one of the two, and of course then there's dessert.
Yes.
So, and we knew that going in, but that's still one of those kind of. I mean, really, is it really going to kill you for us to have a soup and a salad? But that's just us. The quality of the food was fine. It's got to be an American thing, but I'm a fond person of chicken parmesan, and you're not going to find that on that menu. Now,
No.
this is an Italian cruise line, and so what you are getting is authentic, without a doubt, but it is not going to be, for lack of a better term, Americanized.
Yeah.
Okay? I can't speak for any of the other restaurants, right? We didn't do teppanyaki this time. We didn't go to the steakhouse. We didn't do any other specialty restaurants. Didn't get to their Greek, to Paxos, several other places. We just didn't have time. And I know, Rhett, you're there for 7 days. Well, we
were working.
just didn't have
too.
time. So,
Yeah. A lot of time.
outside of that, I definitely thumbs up for the dining. Let's move on.
Okay.
Well, the bars. Boy,
We always struggle with this one.
we're not struggling during this show. For any of you who watched the last, or the second to last night, whatever it was,
Yeah.
I found a bar. Not really, it wasn't a bar. It
It wasn't.
was somebody's cabin with a bottle of 1942 tequila.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
Okay, so outside of that moment, we really don't drink. We don't go to the bars. We don't do this. However, there's this one very, very special place on this ship. It's average. You see the name for it, so it's not necessarily a big secret, but it's called the Speakeasy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, listen carefully, okay? The Speakeasy, it is a public bar, but it is not in the public. It is by invite only. Now, how do you get invited? You get invited by finding the third officer. Now, the third officer is the officer that has three stripes. No insignia, just 3 stripes. When you find the third officer, you go up to him and say, "Excuse me, I understand you have a coin for me," or a token, but a coin. And he'll answer, "Well, why, yes, I do. How do you know about that?" Tell him the tall man sent you. I don't know. Tell him the tall man sent you. Okay? He's going to give you a coin. You then take that coin. You can go to any phone, or you can go to your cabin, whatever, and you're going to dial
6932.
6932.
Yeah.
All right, and you're going to make a reservation. The person on the end of the phone is going to say, and how did you hear about that? You can say, the tall man sent me. I saw the third officer. The third officer will give you his name.
They're going to say, do you have a token?
And
Well, yes, I do.
Why, yes, I do. Okay, great. They're going to give you a reservation time, 2 to choose from, and then tell you where to go. Where you're going to go is to deck 6 forward to the red telephone booth, like in London, the old style red telephone booth.
Yes.
And when you go in there, there's another phone. At your appointed time, you're going to go to that phone booth. You're going to dial that same number, and they're going to have given you a name, Skipper. Is Skipper there? And it's called the Speakeasy, right? So the Skipper is going to come, and magically, like Doctor Who, the TARDIS is going to, and you are on the other side of that phone booth.
Mm-hmm.
They are now going to take you down 2 flights of stairs. So mind you, if you have mobility challenges, we'll talk about this in a second.
Yeah, you'll have to let them know.
But it is down 2 crew type steps. They're much steeper than other stairs.
Yes,
okay?
Graded metal. It's not. Yeah.
You are going down into crew area, guys.
You are.
And when you get there, you will walk into an experience like no other you've had on any other ship. And without saying much more about that, because I just wanted to make sure I described it to you accurately, Lisa and I probably had the best night of any night we've ever had on any ship we've ever been on in that bar.
Agreed. Ever. Now, I will also say it probably took me 3 days to find that third officer. So if that is something you want to do, and you need to, they only give out.
It's very limited.
It is very limited. They only give out maybe.
Maximum.
Yeah.
100 per day.
Yes.
That's 50 for each reservation. They do like a 7 and a 9 or something like that.
And if there's 7,000 people on there on the ship that are all wanting to get on there, that's not going to happen. This is very, very exclusive. And you got to remember, back in the days of Prohibition, you had to really want that bottle to be able to find it.
Correct.
You're going to have to want to get in there to find it.
3 days it took her to find the third officer.
Yes.
Now, the drinks that are down there, they are not included in your drinks package.
No. And much like Prohibition, you're going to pay for it.
You're going to pay for it.
Yes.
Now, that being said, the only other thing I know about bars is I heard some people complaining about the mixology.
Yes.
So mixology is, one of their sort of upscale sort of, craft type cocktail locations. They have a variety of drinks. However, the number I heard was there's only 5 of them that are priced at or under the amount that your drink package would include. All the other cocktails are going to cost you a surcharge. And that was a little frustrating to people. So just know, if you go into mixology, if you're not getting one of those 5 particular cocktails, it may cost you a few more dollars. All right, let's move on.
All right.
Activities. Plenty. We start right off with the cruise director, Dr. Reverend E. Look, a lot of people may say he can get a little annoying, especially first thing in the morning with his singing. It comes on and says, good morning, but he does it in a singing reverend kind of way, which is how he gets his name. And he does that in the morning and the afternoon. He does it every day except for when it's time to get off the ship. He's very, when it's time to get off the ship, because, it kind of stinks, vacation's over, so he's not singing then. And some people find that annoying. It doesn't bother us one way or the other than, come on, man, let's just get to it, because sometimes he can ramble.
He can ramble.
I can ramble too, so I understand. So outside of that, between him and the rest of the staff, I found the activities offered on the ship plentiful and a lot to do.
Agreed.
A lot to do. Look, let's just outside of the scavenger hunts and the bingos and those things. The ship is huge. It is huge. It's like an Oasis class ship from Royal Caribbean. So there's there's tons of things to do, from regular water slides to the dry water slides to bumper cars and roller skating, and just it goes on and on and on and on and on. There is a ton of stuff to do.
Yeah, and they also have their the botanical pool area that has a retractable roof, so you can still swim even in inclement weather if you choose to do so.
Love that.
Yeah, so you'll find lots to do.
All right, activities, awesome.
Yes.
Moving on. Entertainment. So they have what I would call really two main big entertainment areas. That's the World Theater in the front, and they have the Panorama Lounge in the back. And that's where sort of all their bigger things are. But there's also Lunar Park, which is also a fairly sizable venue.
Luna. Your Boston-ness is coming out.
What did I say?
Lunar
Park. Luna Park. Deck 6 and 7 right in the middle of the ship. They also have events there.
Yes.
The shows in the back, the theater is beautiful. The tech is great.
Yeah.
Really amazing.
Yeah.
The shows up in the front, really all they had was Dirty Dancing. That's all they really did up there.
Yeah.
I mean, they had a country guy singing, but I mean, from like production shows, they did an 1.5-hour version of Dirty Dancing where they timed it and literally synced it to the actual movie. That
really
was great.
Cool. Yeah.
Then they do a 35 minute condensed version, more of a show. I heard that was not so good.
Yeah.
We didn't get a chance to see it ourselves.
No.
I can't say firsthand, but if others are saying it's not good, I promise you I would probably be shredding the crap out of it.
You do not want to sit next to him during a production show.
I'm not nice. Anyway, I don't scream at anybody, you know.
No, you don't.
Get off the stage, you hack!
No, you don't heckle anybody.
No, I don't heckle anyway. But they have their own comedy place in the loft. Entertainment everywhere.
Yeah.
So, but the stuff in the Panorama, fantastic. Dirty Dancing, I think they could have done better.
The concert, you mean? Oh,
the concert was good.
Yeah.
But they could have done better. Moving on. Customer service. Okay. For me, two things. One, for a ship this size, boy, customer service is small. It is a tiny little area, and there always seemed to be a line of some kind, though it did seem to move rather quick.
It did seem to move quickly.
There was always a line. Lisa went there way more than I did, but the couple times that I went there with her, again, the line did move fairly quick, and everybody was very friendly and very informed, it seemed.
I thought so,
with the questions we had, unlike other ships we've recently been on where, we went 3 different times and got 3 different answers for the same question. Everybody seemed to be on the same page here, so we'll definitely go with customer service has their act together.
Yes.
All right, moving on. The ship. I have mixed emotions about the ship.
You and me both.
Okay, so first of all, Lisa and I have very plainly and clearly have spoken now and in the past that the mega ships are just not our speed for cruising.
Correct.
Just way too many people. But we throw that aside and we go. Right? So let's put that out there first. So the first thing that I would have to say about the ship, and only call it a disappointment, that it's just respectfully a carbon copy of an Oasis class ship. I don't find a lot of innovation there. And for a cruise line that's coming on the way they are, MSC, I would have thought,
thank you,
they could have been a little more, I hate to use the word groundbreaking, but not steal somebody else's design. Does that make sense? Now, okay, they came up with Cliffhanger, right? But, we've got, 7 neighborhoods. Oasis class? Or Icon? 8? I didn't just see a lot of ingenuity with the ship.
I felt it was a little lackluster. It wasn't the same MSC that I've grown to love, I didn't think, the ship.
She's talking about the decor.
The decor.
Their ships have a certain European flair to them.
They do, and this
ship did not.
Did not. MSC, their known for their crystal staircases, and there's no crystal staircase in the bulk of the ship. Maybe there is in Yacht Club. We didn't get to go up in there except for a few minutes, and we weren't not where the public areas would have been.
No.
That's another story for another day. But there's a certain flair that all the other MSC ships have that this one didn't seem to have. Um, One thing that I noticed in the sea ships, they have this great jungle pool area for the kids. And it seems like they may have brought some of those elements in the decor into the main, like in the buffet area, into more of the ship. Some of the things I did like about it, I liked that the boardwalk, the
The World
promenade,
Promenade.
yes, World Promenade, thank you. I like that the World Promenade was open in the back. You can see the ocean.
That was a really nice gathering area.
It was a very nice gathering area. They did a lot of things out there. They did, I think the glow party. They did
Silent disco.
the silent disco. They did a lot of parties out there, and it's a great area for it.
Yeah.
There's comfortable seating out there on
Yeah.
the deck. I love those things. That's something that I felt like the Oasis class, and maybe Icon class. We haven't been on Icon class, but the Oasis class, I felt like that was kind of missing. So there's a lot of comfortable seating out there. But yeah, overall, it's just, eh.
Yeah.
I didn't see anything that I went, oh, wow. And I know they've got those big LED, they call them palm trees in the back, that LED lights that go all the way up, and then they flare out.
She's
They
talking
look like
about the
palm
world.
fronds.
She's still
I'm
talking about
still
the World
talking about
Promenade.
the World Promenade. And yeah, that is really cool. It is. They've got, all these LED lights in the ceiling and inside. That's really cool. But I felt like they were relying heavily on those LED lights for the decor.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the rest of it is down low because you've got the candy shop back there, the sports bars back there. There's a couple shops back there.
Mhm.
Paxos is back there,
Yes.
and so each of those front facades have their own theming. But this is a 12-story space. The rest of them are all balconies.
Yes.
So I understand where you're going at.
Yes.
Uh, Look, it's a 216,000
It
ton
is.
ship.
It is.
It is essentially a carbon copy of Oasis class ships minus the Aqua Theater in the back, sort of, right? With some MSC stuff, but generally speaking, the layout and that whole mall feel is again not necessarily our tastes. That in the evening time, deck 6 in the World Galleria, incredibly crowded and incredibly loud.
Yes, but I do like that
Where
they
pizza
have.
and burger is.
Yes,
Yeah.
I do like that they have that. It's open until 1
1
o'clock.
o'clock.
So not only do they have, I mean, it's billed as pizzas, burgers, and hot dogs, but you can get French fries, you can get coleslaw, you can get desserts, cakes, cookies, donuts,
Ice cream.
ice cream,
Yeah. All your
fresh
beverage.
fruit, like fruit salad. You can get a lot of stuff down there, other than just the pizzas, burgers, and fries,
Which, by the way,
or hot dogs.
when the buffet closes 9:30 ish, so do all the drink machines.
Yes.
So you got to go down to deck 6
Yes.
to pizza and burger.
And even though they say that the buffet on deck 18 is open for beverages 24/7, I can assure you it is limited. They have ice and they have water. Now, that being said, it seems like there's always fresh coffee in all of the stations, but no creamer anywhere to be found. So even if you wanted hot coffee, if you want creamer, you're out of luck because
Yeah.
it wasn't out there. The juices, your lemonade, your strawberry
It
kiwi.
it rotates.
Yeah, they
It
rotated it.
doesn't. There doesn't always seem to be lemonade there.
No,
There doesn't always seem to be the strawberry kiwi there.
no, they rotated.
There does seem to be iced tea all the time.
There did, yes.
They have orange juice, or the
Even-
facsimile
yeah, even
thereof.
throughout the day.
Yep. Apple juice,
Yes.
and I think they're cranberry juice. And of course, the cranberry and apple are only for breakfast time, it seems.
Yeah.
So, anyway,
But yeah, it was hard to find one of those that was open, and if it was open most time, it was just water coming out of it.
yeah, it was empty.
Yeah.
So all right. Last
Okay.
but not least. Overall experience. I think I had a great time.
Mhm.
Right? Throw out the challenges of getting on the ship and some of the things that we don't particularly prefer.
Mhm.
I think the ship's fantastic.
Yeah.
I think it looks great. I think things are spread out nicely. We enjoyed the quality of the food, generally the quality of the entertainment, the staff, the look of the ship. Again, remember, they did make it for the U.S. market, and so maybe that is why they don't have all their European flair in there. I don't know. But ultimately, that's why I gave it a 7.75.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, we had a good time. There's so many good things that outweigh any of the bad stuff that I didn't care for. And again, that's just my personal opinion on those
And
things.
And the speakeasy was worth one full point.
It totally was.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Absolutely amazing.
If I would
What a great
recommend-
concept.
Yeah, I would recommend everybody diligently look for that third officer.
Good luck.
Seriously. Seriously, because I would hate to miss out on that. That was fantastic.
Well, so there you go. There is our final review on the MSC World America Tall Man Style.